episode 16 of Doing Different with Kimmie. Here we celebrate women over 50 who are aging joyfully and who empower and inspire others through their courage. Whether you're exploring new passions, tackling challenges head on, or simply finding joy in the little things, this is your space. On Doing Different, you are seen, heard, and understood. You are not alone. You have a purpose, and your life is just beginning. We welcome those from all walks of life, especially those who are empty nesters, caregivers, have chronic pain, terminal illness, divorce, suffering from mental illness, addiction, and widow. Business owners, authors, and podcasters are welcome too. We want you to know that you matter. Today, my guest is Adrianne Warnsley. Did I pronounce that right?
Warnsley.
Warnsley. Okay. She is the proud co-owner, along with her son, of Sombodys Coffee in Saint Petersburg, Florida. Adrianne is part of the change that brings communities together. In her own words, she says, coffee transcends barriers all over the world and in the community. She no longer received joy from working in the corporate world, and she felt trapped, which caused great anxiety. There was no advancement, training, or professional development that matched her needs, and she was not living out her purpose in life. I recently met Adrianne when I posted some rocking chairs on Facebook Marketplace. Though my husband met up with her, we communicated via Messenger, and I discovered that she was a coffee shop owner, and I went and checked it out, and I was just completely amazed. She was going to use my rocking chairs for her business. So that was so cool. So after reading about her business, I was so impressed, I decided to ask her to be a guest on Doing Different with Kimmie. And I'm so grateful that she said yes. Welcome, Adrianne.
Hi, Kimmie.
How are you?
I'm so happy to be here talking to you, talking about what I'm doing and what you're doing. I think what you're doing is amazing.
Oh, thank you so much. And, I want to get women's voices heard because, sometimes we just kind of like slip under the radar a little bit, and I'm just so impressed with what you're doing. And when I say, my podcast is about women over 50, it really, I mean, that's what we're geared towards, but it can be any age at this point. It's anybody who is needing to be seen
Yeah.
and needing to be heard,
Yeah.
who has issues and needs support. So that's what I'm all about. And so my first question for you today is, how did you go from an idea to reality? And do you have a background in the coffee business?
Girl, I just did it. I was looking for something, like you said, to live my purpose. And
Mhm.
I was drowning in corporate life, IT life, and not being, but I'm extremely creative. And it
Mhm.
wasn't anywhere for me to go with that energy. And a friend of mine was selling her home, and I had started a business. It was a real estate company, and I was like, God, it was no, disrespect to real estate agents, because a lot of them love what they do. And my mom was a real estate agent for 20 years in the Atlanta area, and she flipped houses in underserved areas. So, but it was boring.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
had no idea what I wanted to do. I'm 50 years old, turned 50 this year, and had no idea what that was going to look like for me, but I desperately wanted to transition.
Yeah.
So she said, I want you to look at the house, because she just knew if someone takes it over, they were going to bulldoze everything down, just tear it
Oh.
down. Because this is a district of redevelopment. So there's condos going up everywhere. On the land that it sits on, you could put 6 units on it.
Oh, wow.
It's pretty big. So she just knew that was going to happen. So she was like, just, go take a look at it and see what you think. I know you're trying to do something different, and I just really wouldn't want it to go to anyone else. And there's a lot of things here. I've planted with her a lot of these plants. A lot of the things that are here that were built here, we built by hand. So I felt the connection along with her. And we live really close. I live in South St. Pete as well, within walking distance. So I went in, and immediately, the building, told me she was a coffee house. She said, I am a coffee house. I sell coffee.
No
And
way.
yeah, and so when I looked at it, I was like, yeah, you are. You are
Oh
a coffee
my.
house. And I just immediately saw the vision of what she wants to look like, what she wants to give. And it takes me back to, I work remotely. I've been working remotely since, 2017. And off and on, yeah, 2019 full time. But living where I live at, if I wanted coffee and I didn't have any in the house, I'd have to go or drive 10 minutes to get
Yeah.
coffee,
Yeah.
or at a
Down on
really,
4th Street, right? Down
y-
around 4th Street
yeah,
area.
but even
Yeah.
north.
Yeah.
Some of my favorites are north, like North and Fourth, or
Yeah.
Martin Luther King, but north. And
Right.
so I was like, oh, wow, this fits into what's happening to the neighborhood and what we're starting to see. And what you'll see with St. Petersburg, city of St. Petersburg, is they have started fighting back on their culture. Instead
Yes.
of letting all of that new buildings, all of that new business take the funkiness out of St. Petersburg, they're fighting to keep it. So when you see your
Yes.
legislation doing that, and you're doing that, you feel supported. You don't feel
Yes,
alone.
absolutely. And I agree with all of it too. I think that it should be that way. So often big business comes, they bulldoze everything, they put up
Yeah,
those high rises,
yeah,
and then the culture's gone. I mean, I
yeah,
mean, I agree with improvements, but
yes,
not getting rid of the
yes,
communities. That's just
yes.
really sad. And so I'm glad that you're doing that. But this woman, so the house, what you're saying is the house that you bought was already a coffee house?
No, it was
No.
actually an apothecary. So she did herbs.
Oh,
So it was set up like an
that's what I
herbal.
do.
Oh, really?
Yes, yes. That's what I
That's
do.
amazing. And
Yeah.
so she had it all set up, and there were jars of herbs everywhere. She
Wow.
did cleanses and spiritual work for people and in the community. But she had to move, which happens. We move.
Oh,
And so it was kind of really set up for a
yeah.
business, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, that's amazing.
And that's happening on Central Avenue. There are a lot of um houses when you get into more of the suburban part that they turned into
Hmm.
restaurants. They turned into bars.
Right.
So this is a
Yes.
little tiny house. There's additional 2 rooms upstairs with additional seating. So it's perfect for a coffee house. Large
Ooh,
yard. So we're going to be able to have, and a large porch out back. So we'll be able to have music, have live music.
that's
People sit by
amazing.
the fire.
I'll connect you, I'll set you up with my niece, Autumn June. She sings,
Oh, I
she
would
plays guitar
love.
and she
Oh.
sings, and she goes to all of these different venues. She's very well known, and
Oh,
she
that would
has a
be
couple,
perfect.
yeah, she has a couple songs out as well. So she's been doing this for quite some time. She's in her 40s.
Oh,
So she's been
wow.
doing this for a long time. And yeah, I think that you would love her. So just let me know if you want me to hook her up
No,
with you.
absolutely. That is
And
what
this
we
is
want.
great. You know, my dream was always to have like a place similar to yours, but to do tea parties and to sell
Oh
my
my God.
herbs,
Yes.
all my
Yes.
herbs. And because I make
Yes.
teas, I have my own herbal garden. I have a regular vegetable fruit garden, fruit trees, moringa. Right now, moringa is the big craze. And
Yes,
so,
it is.
and so I got like trees and I'm making teas like crazy and just mailing them to my friends, and so I think
Because
that's
moringa grows so fast. I have 2 moringa trees in the back. They grow
yes.
so fast.
And you can harvest those. You
Yeah.
can dry
Yeah.
those leaves and you can add them to even coffee grounds. I mean, if you wanted to
Oh,
get
I
that,
never thought about that. Thank you. Because I have
yeah.
some right now I plucked off the tree and put to the side. My son came in and was like, "What is this?" And I'm like, "Oh, well, it's tea. I'm gonna make tea out of it." And he was like,
Well,
"Okay."
because it's nutty, it has a nutty flavor. And so
It
if you dry the
does.
leaves, you dry them and then you crush them, or you don't have to crush them, but you can just dry the leaves, pluck them off the stems and put them in the coffee grounds. And then you'd have like a nutty coffee flavor. And then you just flavor it with whatever. If you want more,
Oh
if
my
you want chocolate and
goodness.
nutty together, or you want mint and nutty together, it can be added to coffee. I
That would
even
be a
make
super
coffee.
diuretic. That's a super
Yes.
diuretic because coffee is a diuretic and so is moringa.
Yes, and
Thank you so much.
but it's an anti-inflammatory
Yeah,
too,
it is.
so it's
Yes,
good.
it is.
And yeah, and I even grow a mesquite tree because I'm going to be making coffee with mesquite pods.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah, it's a really great
Wow.
alternative, and so I'm gonna give it a try and see how it goes. I haven't gotten any pods yet, but I planted them since they were babies, and we'll see how it goes. And so that's a whole different thing too. And you can mix it with you know, lion's mane and mushrooms and stuff
Yeah,
like that for
that I know, that I
adaptogenics.
do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, I didn't mean to get off on that,
The
but I
coffee
just think it's
rabbit hole.
amazing.
But like I said, it transcends
It does. It
everywhere.
transcends.
It
And
makes people excited about it. It's very
yeah.
exciting.
And maybe, who knows, down the line, maybe you can rent the room upstairs for a tea party, and I
That's
can
what it's
advertise
for.
that for you. Yeah, just get a
That's
tea
what it's
party, get
for.
some parties going. So that's great. So my next question for you is, what are some of the biggest challenges right now, or even when you started? Like, what are the biggest challenges that you faced starting out, and how did you secure funding and support for your business?
So, one, I would have to say the biggest challenge was not allowing fear to take hold. And
Hmm.
so, when I was younger, I had a jewelry making business that didn't do it. It was around 2008 when everything folded.
Oh,
So,
yes.
around 2006, I started and I was doing great. I was working in healthcare, but everyone in the office bought for me. So I was selling earrings and necklace. I did beaded jewelry and I would do a whole
Oh,
set, necklace, earrings, bracelet, and anklets. And
wow.
they were writing checks left and right. Every pay week I would come in with my jewelry and it was good. But then I set up a booth at a trunk show and this was 2008 and
Hmm.
everything crashed around that time.
I remember.
And oh, it's terrible. And so mine are semi-precious stones. So I really didn't have anything that was five or $10.
Yeah.
So all the other booths, they had little buckets and baskets of really grab bag kind of things. Girls were selling pocketbooks for $10. I didn't
Yeah.
make a sale. And I
Oh,
had paid quite a bit of money for the booth for the time.
yep.
I had bought all of these new beads and did all this beautiful semi-precious work, and I used
Wow.
silver and those types of things. So I had lost a lot of money, and I
Yeah.
remember even though I had a lot of support, one of my best girlfriends was there with me the entire time, helping and working the booth. I remember going home and crying, going underneath
Mm,
the underneath the blankets, kind of cry.
yeah.
And so from there, I just kind of threw myself into corporate world because corporate was working. I was climbing the ladder. I was traveling. I lived in India for a while, opening a call center.
Wow.
So I was upward and mobile for me.
Wow.
Healthcare finance, and I started consulting and traveling and that type of thing. So I said, all right, this is my course.
Right.
However, as I got older, that starts to slow down and you start to not recognize who you are and you want to get back to that joy. There's
Yeah.
there's the joy gets sucked out of you in a corporate world unless you're
Yes.
a bit of a psycho and you kind of love that, you know, push and
Yeah.
pull, that tug, tug, pull, pull. And
Right.
so because I don't, and because I'm a very grounded, genuine person, I started noticing that I just didn't have the joy. So I know I needed it. And then turning 50, something changes. You're
Yeah.
like, I'm not
Yeah.
tolerating. It's not just that you want something. You're like, I'm not tolerating this.
Yeah.
You're not going to
Yeah.
talk to me this kind of way. I'm
Yeah.
not going to do this for just any kind of money. And so that's where that fear was no longer there. And I think part of that is turning
Wow.
50, not
Yeah.
having the fear, letting the fear fall back, not letting it hold me back, and
Right.
just doing it,
Right. Just do it.
just
That's
doing
right.
it.
That's my motto is just do it.
I didn't I don't have any extra funding. I don't have banks. This is all funded from my work. I work the coffee house full time, just and then I do work here when it's slow. So I still work for the facility in Atlanta that I work for. So I'm
Oh,
self-funding this until this gets off the ground. We officially opened August the 1st, was the
oh,
official.
right.
Yep, very, very new. So this is my baby, and I've thrown everything into it. Savings,
Oh,
I
wow.
furnished it with a lot of my own stuff. I look for deals, like your chairs were deals,
Yeah.
So
So
what I would have to say,
no business grants or anything
I've
like that?
applied for grants.
Okay. Hopefully they'll come
Yeah,
through.
oh, absolutely. But I started this I started the whole thing probably a month before I got your chairs. So it hasn't been long. The whole
Oh my goodness.
idea, the whole setting it up. Um,
But you're still working for a corporation in Atlanta?
I, I still work for a corporation in Atlanta, but I put
Okay.
most of my focus here on what it is that I love.
Yes.
But every
And hopefully get
last
away from that down the
of yeah, you
line.
transition. You
Right.
transition. Now, if I had gotten grants, I would have been gone.
Yeah.
you know
Yeah.
but you have to work on that. So this is something I woke up one day and did it and threw everything into it,
Yep.
absolutely everything into it, with no fear. And
Exactly.
my
And that's
support system is my we had we I have my son works in the business. He's a chef, and then I have a friend that was a chef. But there's little things they forget to tell you that you need, right? And it's
yeah.
always the biggest things. So I needed a three-section sink and didn't know it. So when the
Oh.
inspector came in, she was like, "Okay, everything's fine, but that has to be in here before you physically open."
Oh,
So
wow.
I had to rush and get a contractor, rush and get the sink, get it all done before they came back.
And why is that? Why do you need that?
It's a you have to have, for anything where you sell food, anything where you're touching food or you have utensils that use food, even with coffee, even though it's coffee, you
Yeah.
have to have a wash sink, a clear water for rinsing sink, and a sanitization sink. And then you have to
Oh.
have a fourth sink for washing hands. That cannot be attached.
So
So
that
that's
makes
with
sense. I was a
anything.
bar manager for years, back in the 80s up in Massachusetts. And yeah, we did have a three sink
Yeah.
behind the bar. So that makes a lot of sense.
Yes.
But back then you had those brushes and you would just put the glasses on the
Oh,
brushes and then
yes.
you would
Yeah.
rinse them in the next sink. Well, that come to find
Yes.
out, that is not the best procedure to wash a glass is on a brush and then just rinse it through a solution and hang it back up.
Yeah.
You need to
Yeah.
actually have heated water,
Heated
you
water.
know.
Yes.
So yeah, so well that is so amazing. My
Yes.
goodness, that's my motto. You're perfect for this podcast because I'm always saying just do it.
Just do
And
it.
and you're right. When you turn 50, it gets to the point where okay, so I'm not putting up with this anymore. And I have to tell you, it just grows because I'm going to be 60 in a couple of weeks. And it's to the point now. And I just started this podcast maybe half a year ago. And it's a long story, but I was tired of my friends not being seen and heard. I was
Yeah.
tired of myself not being seen and heard. I'm an empty nester, so that was really hard for me. I'm sandwiched in between caring for my elderly mom who's 94
Yeah.
and and then just my own self, having to, deal with my kids aren't at home anymore. So
Yeah.
I'm in the middle. So I needed to do something for me, but at the same time, I wear my heart on my sleeve. And so I'm all about promoting other people. I want other people to be seen and other people to be, people to be heard,
Yeah.
because our voices matter, and especially an entrepreneur. I mean, wow, you are going to go to amazing heights. And this is going to, I can't wait to watch you grow. I mean, in your community and how you tackled it and how you just did it. And I suggest that to everybody else. Just stop being so scared. If you have a dream, just do it. If you have the means, if you have the ability to do it, then just do it and don't look back and just
Yeah.
keep going forward. So my next
So,
question
well,
is,
I
oh,
wanted
go
to
ahead.
finish
Oh,
part of
yes,
that
by
question.
all
I didn't talk
means.
because I was leading to my support, which is very important.
Yes, the
I want to give my
support.
flowers to my peoples that support me. So with the sink, they came in, they tore everything up. The whole kitchen area was just a mess.
Oh,
And I was talking to my girlfriend about, she was like, well, what are you doing this weekend? What do you want to do? And I was like, girl, the inspector's coming on Monday and my kitchen's a mess. I have to clean it. So that was on Saturday. She said to me immediately, so what time do I need to be there on Sunday? No
aw,
questions asked.
nice.
She came early. We cleaned up the kitchen and the bathroom in no time. She gave ideas. She was able to see everything. And one thing that was very, very important is that this isn't just me. I'm doing a community thing. So I need to ask my community for help. So I
Yeah.
had a horticulturist friend that donated his time for free to get my
Wow.
gardens together. I had friends that
Nice.
donated furniture and time and went and looked for art, family members. And so that's my
Wow.
support. So I'm not doing this all by myself. And she came in,
Right.
she's like, now I can see what you need that I have at the house. Because we give away, we send things to Salvation Army, little things, little trinkets, little stuff we keep around the house that'll be good in a little coffee house, a little table, a
Yes.
little stand. So they're all reaching and doing those things for me. So
Right.
that's my support system.
Wow. That is
Um,
amazing.
and I have not felt alone any period of this time.
And you said that your son is a chef. So
Yes,
he's the other co-owner of the business,
yes,
right? So
yes.
is he working at all at the coffee shop, or is he
Yes, he does. He
behind the
covers days.
scenes? Yeah.
Absolutely. He's very behind the scenes. He doesn't
Okay.
want like I need to do like photos and things. And even his friends have come and shown us how to do some things here, like coffee, because we don't know anything about coffee. His friends came in and consulted us, his barista friends, on what machines we needed, how to make the
Mhm.
coffee.
Oh,
They
nice.
trained him on how to make the coffee. They came in and did marketing with him. He has a friend that does marketing. They came
Oh,
in and did
wow.
marketing with him. And so I asked him, I said, it's just me and you. So what happens if I gotta go do this or whatever? He covers when I need to do that. And he said, don't worry about it. I'll have somebody to come and cover the store whenever we need to cover the store. We're not gonna worry about that.
Oh, that is
So,
so awesome.
right?
And my brother is he's not anymore. He's retired, but he was an executive chef. So um
Wow.
I know what it's like to work in the restaurant business. And
Yes.
it can be very demanding. So
Yes. Yes.
wow. So well, thank you for sharing that. You're so blessed to have the support of your community and your friends. And that's really important. So um yeah, you've got to have that support. And I do hope the funding comes through for you, because,
Oh, me too.
that would be, I mean, you could even
Amazing.
expand
Yes.
even more. Yeah, that would be
Yes.
so amazing. So how did you choose your location, and how important is the location for you? I know you said that, you know, well, you've already touched base on that actually,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
you don't want them coming in and bulldozing the community and
No,
building these high rises. But
no.
your location, you didn't really, I mean, You
It fell
got
in my
word.
lap.
It fell in
And
your lap. Your
it that's
mom
kind of no
found it.
when you know something's right.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
synchronicity there.
So
So
it
it's just
wasn't
the right
just like,
time.
I don't really like the area this house is in. Let me look for something
Mm-mm.
else. It was there. It was already
Yeah.
there. I mean, what a blessing.
Yeah.
What a blessing that
Because
is.
I
I mean, that is,
didn't remember, I didn't go out to have a coffee shop,
yeah,
you
right.
know?
I know, right? So, yeah, so
So
now it's right there in the
it's right
neighborhood.
there. And
Wow.
it's being what you need. Be what
Yeah.
you need. If you need something, be that. And that is what the communities like this needs. If you
Yeah.
need something, be that. If you I had a friend a long time ago who said, you know, as a gentleman, as a man, and as an able man, if I have a pickup, I always can make money.
Yeah.
You can haul
Yeah.
something, you can mow
Exactly.
something. So in our community, that is how people build businesses. They
Yes.
see all these, everyone around here needs a lawn care man, and I know them. I
Yeah.
can cut their
Exactly.
grasses, and I give them a service, they give me a service.
Exactly.
All of the people who have businesses, except for the restaurant across the street, all of the people around who have businesses live here.
Oh,
They
okay.
all live
S-
here and they're from here. And what will end up happening if we don't stand strong and keep it ourselves tied into politics, because
Yeah.
even though we hate it, it's
Yeah.
very important. You got to know what's going on.
Yeah.
They're just going to come down, and there's going to be chain restaurants, and there's going to be a different type of food desert, which what you find in suburban areas.
That's
Suburban
right.
areas, you have chains of everything,
Yeah. On every street corner,
every street
a
corner.
duplicate, a duplicate.
Exactly.
And it's like, wait a
Exactly.
minute.
To get
I
them
want a
going
sweet
both
tomato.
ways. To get them going both ways. So to keep that
Mm.
sweetness, because there's a sweetness to it, there's a
Yeah.
foundation and grind to it. We need to support our local businesses and the people who live here. Um,
Exactly.
the foundation of that for me comes from my mom.
Yeah.
My
Yeah.
mother flipped houses in the city of Atlanta, which and she tried to get people who grew up there to come back and buy there, and they would not. They wanted to
Yeah.
go to the suburbs.
Yeah.
And she would tell them, she said, you know, 10 years, you will not be able to buy here. This house
Yeah.
is 56K now.
Yeah.
In 10 years, it's going to be over 500K.
Yeah.
And so she
Yeah.
saw that coming, and it's the same thing that happens to every single city, inner city. People move out, and then you have a really big push to move closer to the city. But then those are usually people who the prices of the houses then now explode, you know, and you
Yeah.
can't live there anymore,
Yeah.
you know, so
Exactly.
we
And
miss that.
the
The
taxes and all
taxes,
that stuff.
we're starting to go through that now in the city of St.
Yeah.
Petersburg. You know,
Yeah.
so we gotta 10 toes down, you
Yeah.
know, and
Yeah.
stay where we are, keep our sweetness. There is going to be some changes, but we can cohabitate together.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
And you answered my next question, which was what sets your coffee shop apart? And I think that you answered it with just
Yeah.
community. I
Oh, yeah.
mean, everybody that owns a business or whatever is living in that community.
Yeah.
And so that's what's setting it apart. It's all about community. And I know that you must be familiar with Chataways.
Oh, yes, I do.
Yeah.
I
And
am.
they've been there for years, decades,
Ever. I met
decades.
the owner. She was in Nazi Germany. She sat down, yeah, she sat down and she talked to us about it. She lost her parents and she was adopted by a English family,
Oh my
and she
gosh.
was brought over here. And so she grew up vegetarian. And so she was a really young
Oh,
girl in Nazi Germany, and she escaped. And so she just
oh.
kind of sat down and told us that story. So, and then she said, and she will come out sometimes and still they only allow her to deliver your water, but
Oh,
she'll come
she
out.
must be an older lady,
She's
right?
much old. Oh, she's much older, but she still gets around, but she's
Oh
only
my
allowed to
goodness.
deliver you your water.
And it's funny how they're very well known for their burgers, and she's a
Yes.
vegetarian.
She's a very
So,
vegetarian.
but that's what they're well known for.
Yeah,
And
they
now
are.
they have a tea
They have a
room.
tea room.
And I was supposed to celebrate my 60th birthday next month in that tea room because I was going to have a meet and greet for some people all over the country that I know from this other social media site, but that fell apart. And so I think I'm still going to go though and check it out because I remember years ago I celebrated my 36th birthday there, and it kind of looked like it was going to end up being like just a
Okay.
tea room in
Yeah.
one of the rooms.
Yeah.
I could tell already, and now they actually offer it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I thought,
It's
and that,
really super cute. It's
yeah,
super
it
cute.
is.
I've
It's
been in there.
really, really cute, and I've got to get back there and
Mhm.
visit. My
And
my
there's a
husband
whole
works.
story about tea rooms. I don't want to
Oh
get into
yeah.
that. That's probably another podcast. But
Oh, well,
women, but it's a
I have
story
my
about
own tea
women.
group. I have my
Yeah.
own tea group
Do you?
for tea lovers. So if you ever want to join that on Facebook, let me know because I would love
Send
to
me the
hear some more
link.
information.
Send me a link, but it has
But
to
you can
do.
tell me a little bit about it right now if you'd like.
Yes, all over the country, at Atlanta, New Orleans, places like this, where the men were off and during war. Women set up tea rooms to feed people in the neighborhood, start political groups, be community. And they have, so in many of the older places that have been around for a long time, they have those tea rooms. And the tea rooms were set up for
Wow,
women to be active and involved in their community, as well as to feed families in the community that was underserved.
that's
Yeah.
amazing. That's great information. I'm gonna have you post that in my group when I
Oh, well,
invite you.
absolutely.
Oh my goodness. So yeah, that's amazing. I love it. And how do you okay, so how do you source your coffee? Like, where do you get it from? And do you work directly with farms or roasters or anything like that? Or are you just starting out learning the ropes and just getting some from, yeah, like the local coffee shops? Or how do you go about that?
There are tons of roasters here. I don't think people know that. There's tons of local roasters here.
Didn't
It's
know
it
that.
and brew houses. So we have a lot
Well, I
of,
know about the
yeah.
brew houses. Yeah, I
But we
know
also
about
have
the Three
roasters.
Daughters and all of those. Yeah.
Yes. So, however, I chose something a little different, and it's from Vietnam, and it's a
Oh,
Vietnamese bean. It's called Robusto. That is what I use for the espressos, and so it's less
nice.
bitter, and but has more caffeine content. So it's stronger. It's
Wow.
very dark.
Yeah.
And then for the regular coffee, I use Arabica, but it still comes from Nugent Coffee, which is a Vietnamese bean. And
Nice.
the story behind that is that I needed a regular coffee and a espresso coffee. But the first bag that came to me, and you have to make your orders at the right time to make sure the coffee gets here. And
Yeah.
so the first bag that came to me was not the espresso, it was the regular coffee. So I reordered the espresso from that company because my original desire was to get a local roaster. And that's
Yeah.
anything that I sell here, I want it to be local people. So I ended up
Yeah.
with two really large bags of coffee that I got to work through before I buy another coffee. But
I'm
I
gonna have to
really,
come visit you. I'll have some of that.
I really wanted to use a Vietnamese bean or a Robusto bean because I prefer that. None of the roasters use that,
I don't
unfortunately.
think I've ever had any, so
Oh,
that's
you
another
have
thing
to.
that
It's
sets you apart.
rich. It's rich. Like I
Ooh,
honestly
nice.
can't drink regular coffee anymore because
Really?
I drink espresso. I it tastes like water to me.
Yeah. But what do you
So
do though for those who can't have caffeine? Do you have
I
anything to
have a
offer?
I have a green tea. I have a green
Ooh,
tea and a spearmint tea that I'll make for them. But
okay.
I've had children who come in and I make a little green tea for them.
Yeah.
That's very far and in between right now. But we
Yeah.
do want to offer teas. We're going to
Like a
offer teas as
matcha,
well. Like a
like
matcha.
a chai
Yes,
matcha. Oh, that
absolutely.
sounds good. Do you have
Yes.
flavors for your coffee? Do you
Yes, we do.
flavor
Just
them? syrups?
The normal syrups. And then my son makes a honey syrup and he makes a regular simple syrup. So those are handmade. And our eventually we want to come with our own line of
Yes.
syrups
That would be
with different
so nice.
flavors. So we're working on that.
Have
Um,
you ever heard of a lavender cloud coffee?
yes, and I've
I
actually
love
had
lavender.
one.
Oh, it's so
I've
good.
actually had one. They're delicious.
Yeah.
So those are
And
the
you can only get them seasonally sometimes
yeah,
at these Starbucks and
yeah.
stuff. But well, I'm not going to say anything about Starbucks, but I was, like lavender and coffee.
Yes,
W-
yes.
That must taste horrible. I mean, Earl Grey tastes a little bit, Earl Grey tea tastes a little like lavender, but it's the cardamom, I believe, that gives it that taste too. But
Yeah,
um, lavender and coffee. And so I just made my own one day. I bought some lavender drops, some extract. I've
yeah.
also got real lavender, dried lavender, but that stuff puts you to sleep. I mean, I'll get conked out if I use that. So I just put a couple of drops of the lavender extract into my coffee with some whipped cold foam and poured it
Yes.
in, and it was delish.
Delicious.
Yeah, and so that to me, I mean, and like I said, they only have them at a lot of places seasonally.
Yes.
So it's nice to have it on hand, more so. But you know, n- now it's like the syrups, people will not even, use them because
Yeah.
they're diabetic. So
Yeah.
you need to provide like a sugar-free
Yeah.
alternative as well.
Yeah.
And many places only have vanilla. They
Yes.
just have
Yeah.
sugar-free vanilla, and what's the other one?
And
I think it's
chocolate.
chocolate or
Yeah.
caramel or
Yes.
something like that.
Yeah.
So, wow, so the popular one then, the most popular coffee in your shop would be the espresso or
Absolutely. It's the espressos.
it's the
It's the
espresso.
espressos. Yes.
Wow,
And then
that's
I do
amazing.
use I push agave and I have honey, agave, and maple syrup, which maple syrup is
Yes.
my favorite. So those are
Yes,
the type of
yes.
things that we're going to add flavors to. We're working out our palate now, but coming up with really different things that people haven't thought about and use that as
Yeah.
specialty. But we have all the
Yeah.
other flavors as well.
Wow,
And
that
then we
is so
also do
awesome.
breakfast burritos.
Oh, you
So
do?
yeah, we do breakfast burritos. So I had a
Okay. Is there
really nice that I sold out of. I sold out of the chicken sofrito, which was delicious. And
Oh,
now I have a chorizo. And so all the peppers, the garlic, are all roasted, hand roasted, and put together. And we freeze them and bring them in.
so does your son make those?
I actually make those.
Oh, really?
So I
Oh
actually
my
make those
goodness. That sounds so
myself.
good. Do you offer any biscotti or anything like
I
little in
don't
little
offer any
snack bags?
biscotti. I don't offer any biscotti. There are some vendors locally that I'm wanting to work with. I also set up a booth at a open mic in St. Pete, and I met a
Mhm.
beautiful, wonderful couple that makes treats. So they had the Dubai chocolates there. They had
Ooh,
these really nice
nice.
cookies. So I'm going to see if I can't partner with local people like that to bring in some of those confectionaries here at the market.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even like chocolate covered coffee beans. I love those.
You do?
Oh, they're so good, but you got to be careful with your teeth.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
oh, I just love those. And they are just like doing a shot of espresso. I'm not kidding you. They are very highly caffeinated. So my next question is, what has been your biggest lesson as an entrepreneur? And what feels at this point of where you are right now, what feels unresolved that you would like to see more growth in? Whether that has to do, with the different things that you're offering in your shop, or if that has to do with future growth, but what is your biggest lesson as an entrepreneur? What have you learned? Um, and then also what parts feel unresolved?
What I've learned actually came from a mentor of mine, and she talked about partnership and how partners sometimes are only there for a moment, and then you have to move them out and move someone else in.
Oh, right.
Hanging on to partners too long can sometimes slow your growth.
Yeah.
It'll stagnate you and stagnate your growth. And it's
Yeah.
nothing wrong with um, saying, hey, I think this has kind of ran its course. Let's see if we can come up with something different. Either, um, I guess you get inspiring them to pivot so that you
Yeah.
guys can move forward together, or just like saying, hey, I think we're done with this project. I'll let you know when we can do something else that kind of fits into what you're doing,
Right.
and then looking
Exactly.
for that next tier, that next level.
Right.
Um, Also, asking for what you need, because
Hmm.
as I'm a single mom. I've been single. I've never been married. So I grew up, and also with my mom being a very dominant figure when it comes to lessons on how you do things. And the reason why I just get up and I do it is that we don't. I made my way, but I also go farther when I asked for things. Even though
Yeah.
I scraped and I grabbed and I pulled and I got my way, many of my times when I propelled forward faster, I went into an office and I said, "Hey, I need this."
Yeah.
And even if they had reservations, I still pushed. And then
Yeah.
I was propelled, but I still
Yeah.
I still asked for it,
Yeah. Yeah. That's
and
important. If you don't
yeah.
ask, you're not going to get anything.
No, no,
And I know a few people like that, even in my own small family and stuff and group, and that they don't want to ruffle anybody's feathers, they don't want
yeah,
to cause any waves.
yeah,
I'm not like that. I've learned that if you don't ask, then you can't get help. And
no,
so it isn't begging, it's just asking. And then see what comes from it,
yeah,
because you will never know
no,
unless
you never know. And it's from
and
the
so
people that you did not expect to be able to help you in
right.
such a magnanimous way.
Exactly. Exactly. And so, what is something that you wish somebody had told you besides the partnership? Because I know that the partnership is with your son, but what is
Well,
something? Because we
let
were
me
just talking.
clarify that.
Yeah, yeah.
Partnerships come in like micro. There's like micro partnerships.
Oh,
Like the
okay.
partnership with my horticultural friend. That's a partnership.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Yeah, those things are all, and it pushes me forward. I have a really great friend from elementary school that's helping with marketing. And
Wow.
she lives in Atlanta. And
Oh,
that's a
wow.
partnership, and that's going to lead us into other avenues. She's in the movie industry, and
Oh,
she graduated with in film and photo record, or I don't know how they say that, but she worked in the movie industry for many, many years, and she's also 50. You should really talk to her as
oh,
well.
yeah. Set
But
me up with her.
she went from the movie industry to when COVID happened, she went into real estate because that kind of shut down. And then now
Yeah.
she's trying to get back in, and she has beautiful ideas of what she wants to do. So when and I haven't she's gonna listen to this. When our relationship started to stall a little bit, there was an idea that I had been working on for her, to kind of boost that adrenaline and put that creativity back in, that hopefully me and her can do here, to once
Oh,
we
wow.
get it all in running and having the events, that we can take it even further. And
Right.
so that's a partnership. And these are
Right.
little
Right.
micro partnerships all over the place that they're small. My son and his partnership is large, but
Right. Right. And that's
those
what I was
matter.
wondering,
Those
was
matter.
there somebody else that was involved besides your son
Oh
in
yeah.
the investment and
Yeah.
in the ownership actually of the building, but it's just you and your son who are
Yeah.
the owners.
Yes.
Okay, but the partnerships come from all kinds of different various areas.
Yes.
Okay, I
Yes.
see.
Yeah.
So, do you support personally? Do you support any local causes or collaborate with other small businesses besides? I know you said the horticulture. I don't know if
Hmm.
that's his own business, his or her own
That's his own
business.
business. Yes.
Okay, so
His
you're supporting him, and you said that, we support each other in the community. You talked about that earlier. Do you personally, though, support any other organization yourself?
There is one that came very recently that I absolutely love, and they're called Girl Boss.
Oh, I
And
saw that on your, as a matter of
yes,
fact, I reposted that video with the
yes,
music and the stage.
yes,
And I posted that on my Doing Different with Kimmie group, announcing that I was going to be interviewing you because I went on your page and I saw that and I thought, oh, wow, I have to ask her about that. So give me a little
that was
bit more information
amazing.
about that.
Absolutely, that's amazing. They hold it every I want to say they had one past Friday. So what is that? The second Friday?
Mm-hmm.
They hold them, and I was amazed. It's not just the normal networking group where you're there chit-chatting it up and passing out cards.
Mm.
There's women who are there and are part of the group that have their own businesses, and they'll split out into these different groups, and they will teach about what they do to the other members to help them. So there was an AI
Um,
speaker. There was one that was doing, I cannot remember, but it's wonderful, and I was going to go and look at her video. But and the woman that invited me, she does this AI board. And the way she was doing it on the screen is it looks like a vision board. You put it on the vision board, and the vision board uses AI to actualize it.
oh,
It
wow.
was wonderful. So she was teaching the group that she was talking to what she does and how that can work for their business.
Yeah,
And
because
then
you
you
can see it developing right in front of your own.
right in
I
front
mean,
of your
it's
eyes.
happening right there.
Right there.
That's
And so
amazing.
then you have a certain amount of time, and then you go to the next table. You pick two, I think. That's all you have time for. You go to the next one that you wanted to watch. And so they give presentations. And then the
Yeah.
next time there'll be another group of people doing presentations about what they do and how it can work for your business.
Mm, that's called circle groups. They have those on, there are various circle groups like that on Facebook
Oh,
that,
wow.
yeah, that you can also visit that teach. And I'm going to be involved in one of them. I'm going to be collaborating with a nutritionalist, and I'll be collaborating with her for a circle group, with my teas.
Oh,
So I'm really
wow.
excited about it. I was caught off guard a little bit, because I was like, what, me? Like I'm just, just regular person here at home growing my garden, making teas, and I just give them away. I don't even monetize this podcast. I'm doing everything for those who need it. And I don't sell my teas. So I just give them away. Maybe someday I will. um, I think you definitely have to be licensed, like we were talking about with the coffee. You need to be
Yes.
licensed to do that.
Yes.
So for now,
Yes.
it's just sending them to my friends, and I enjoy it. It gives me joy. And so, yeah, so that's amazing because I am very familiar with circle groups. And I was part of another community that offered those. One was quilting. There was a woman that would teach you how to quilt.
Oh,
I also have a circle group of my own. I teach people how to just do simple painting because I'm an
okay.
artist, so I love to
Okay.
paint. And other groups teach how to journal, and with different techniques of journaling. Other groups teach crafts. There's also grief counseling circle groups. So I get what you're saying, but
Yeah,
this is
I loved
local.
it.
Is
This is
this local?
local. This is local. It was right
Wow.
on Martin Luther King at one of the event spaces there. So it
Wow.
was really nice, and I
Does
loved
it
it. So
cost?
link to join the group it costs. And I
Okay.
think your first time is free. And then
Oh,
but
okay.
it's a low cost. I think after that it's like $15. It's not
Oh,
expensive. And
wow.
they did something, or the leader, I call her the leader. I guess she's a leader. Um, they also did something the way that they I call it maybe professional persistence, or more, or like pulling your cord, but in a way that empowers you. So
Yes.
they were all really excited about the coffee shop. And however, I had missed a step in setting myself up. So I had did the one of the apps in order to set the business up as a coffee shop. And she came over and
Oh,
she said, "Oh, we were searching for you on Google. We couldn't find you. We could Google you, but we couldn't find you on the map." You
yeah.
and she just kind of, so it was like a, so
Yeah.
I said,
Yeah.
"Oh, I missed that step." So I
Right.
immediately, when I got back, set it all up so that if you're Googling for coffee, it comes up. But she did
Okay.
something like that that I thought was important because she felt it was important as a business, as a local business, especially a coffee shop and something that's vending. You need to be able to be searchable,
That's right. And how did
you
you do
know?
that? I mean, like, I wouldn't know the first thing. I have a website, so people are able to look up doing slash different. It doesn't have Kimmie in it, but that's before I changed my podcast name. So people can Google me and look me up
Mhm.
that way because it's a
Yes.
website.
Yes.
But how do you actually put yourself on the Google map so
It's
that
through
people,
your Google address. So when you open up a Google email and you have a Google page, business page, because they
yeah?
ask you, is this a business? And you say yes. So they give you
Oh.
tools to now, what's your address? Put up pictures. What's your,
Oh.
what's your, and I think they want your EIN and everything too. And then you send them pictures and they validate everything. And now you are visible. But that's
So it would have
one
to be a
step.
business email, a bit not because I'm already,
No.
if I wanted to, like let's say down the road, I want to license to sell tea. I can't use my Gmail email because then it would pin me to where I live
Yeah, you
rather
don't want
than if
this.
I, yeah,
Yeah.
so you would have to create a new Gmail account in order
Yes.
to get all that going.
Yes. But if you were going to sell it um at you get your own space, right?
Yeah,
That is where you would put the address to, and that's what the benefit of it. If you
yeah,
actually wanted someone to come in and get it.
yeah.
If you're selling online, what you're doing is fine, you
Yeah.
know, and
Yeah,
they'll
I'm
give
not
you that
selling
way.
anything right now, but maybe in the future I will. I'm just experimenting, and my goal right now is to just get people heard, and we'll see where God takes me in that journey. And just blessing people with I never thought my herbal garden was going to be flourishing as much as it did. This was something that I did during COVID. And when I was rediscovering, I call it rediscovering myself. Um, I went to college. That was something that I did different. I had never gone to college before. I didn't finish, but I've only got science and math to go, and then I'll be done. Um, Perfect time to go to college is during COVID because you can do your speech from your house. You don't have to stand in front of
Oh,
people and
yeah,
do it.
yeah, yeah.
Everything is done from home. And learned to play guitar, brushed up on my painting, and just did it like what you said.
Yeah,
You
just did
just
it.
do it, and and that's what this is all about, is rediscovering yourself. That we as women, our lives do not end when our kids move out, when we turn 50, when we get a divorce, when whatever, even when if you get sickness, you can always still do something from home. But rediscovering yourself is so important because I watched so many family members give up.
Yeah.
Well, I'm 50, or let's say I'm 55. Uh, my work is done. I'm retiring early, and now I'm just going to travel. Well, that's good. That's good. I mean, if that's what you want to do, if you want to travel, that's good. But for me, my purpose is to encourage other people. My purpose is to promote other people because I know what it feels like to not be seen. I know what it feels like to be alone and basically like my life is over because of my age. I mean, that's ridiculous,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So, we need to awaken that. And
Yeah.
I so am amazed at what you're doing. I think that you're a great voice for the community. Um, People are going to get so much out of this podcast. You're going to be such an encouragement. And I hope that that people will come locally. If there's anybody listening that's local, I hope that they will come and visit you. I know I'm going to. And I just think and be thinking about doing that moringa because I think that's gonna be big. I heard somebody was telling me I mentioned to you earlier that I guess on TikTok and Instagram and all these social media sites, the craze right now is
It's
moringa.
Moringa.
And
Yes.
I was like, what? Are you
Yeah.
serious? Because I'm on Instagram, I'm on Facebook, I go on YouTube. I don't have TikTok. Not yet. I haven't been brave enough to journey there. But I'm like, I didn't hear about this. Like
Yeah. So they
what's the
are.
craze? What why are they I mean, I know it's
So
beneficial.
herbalists, yeah, yes, but herbalists, and especially what I've noticed with the TikTok and the YouTube, people of African American descent buying land in Africa and setting up moringa farms. And this
No
one
way.
gentleman's, yes, this one gentleman's projection within the next 10 years, it's that his projections is that he will make $1.4 billion off of
Oh
his
my
farming.
gosh.
He has a massive farm there
My
of
goodness. But
nothing but moringa.
how blessed are we though to be living in Florida where you can just
You
take
get
a seed and plant it in your
in the
backyard and
ground,
you get
and
these
that's it. This whole tree.
and it's
This
just a whole
whole
tree. I
tree.
mean, and everything is edible of it except the root.
Yes.
You
Yeah.
can't eat the root, but you can eat everything. I got a whole bunch drying up out there outside in my tent where I hang up my herbs to dry. And I just can't, I can't, I need more tea bags. I need more canisters. It's just growing like crazy. So it's the easiest tree, I believe, in my opinion, to grow
It is.
in Florida. And also the mesquite. The mesquite is pretty simple, but boy, that tree is filled with thorns, worse than a
Oh
rose
wow.
bush. Oh,
Oh wow.
they're big thorns
Oh
too.
wow.
Yeah, and
Oh
it
wow.
doesn't have any pods on it yet, but I'm trying to think, how am I going to pick the pods off of this tree because
Wow.
the thorns are big and so and it grows really really tall too.
Wow.
So yeah, I'll have to send you some pictures of my garden
I would
sometime.
love it. And
But
I
yeah, that's
also, you brought me to, because you brought me to someone that I really wanted to pay homage with, that's a partner
sure.
of mine, and that's my mentor, and that is the woman whose house, who's the coffee shop. She is the herbalist.
Oh
And so she
yes.
mentors me through any business challenge.
Oh wow.
She mentored me through, you know, moving your partners and how to identify when things are starting to stale. And I really think she would be perfect for your podcast, or even if just to talk to her about herbs. She has over 300 hours of herbal training and she's
Wow.
certified, but she
Right.
teaches, and
Oh
uh,
wow.
that would be an
Set
amazing match.
give her we'll text each other. Give me her
Absolutely.
you can give her my contact info and there was somebody else we were talking about too. Was that your kindergarten friend
Yeah,
that
from high school, from elementary school. I will
right.
definitely give her your information.
Yes, I would love that. I would love to have them on the program. And so I just appreciate you so much and I just want to let our audience know today and all the listeners out there that this concludes our episode today with Adrianne, but it's not the last time that we're going to see her because I'm going to have you back on the show to see how your business is growing because it's
I
only
love
been
it.
a month.
Yeah.
So we need to revisit this on your anniversary date.
Oh, yes.
And you should have like a party like on your
I
first
would.
year and I will interview you again if you want to when it's your 1 year
I
anniversary
absolutely would.
and see how
From the
far.
party.
Yeah, and see how far your growth has come. And if you've got any singers, oh, I'll hook you up with my niece as well.
Yes,
So don't let me forget that because I
I
do forget a
won't.
lot these days. Well, to our audience, I hope that Adrian's journey has resonated, encouraged, and motivated you to start your journey in doing different. Thank you again, Adrian, for being my guest today. It was such a pleasure speaking with you. And I want to let everybody know not to forget to subscribe, like, and share this podcast so we can get it out to as many women as possible so they don't feel so alone in doing their different. And all the links and the emails will be provided in the description of the podcast below. And Adrian, can you tell our audience where they can find you on Facebook, Instagram?
Oh, yes,
Give us some addresses here. Where can they
absolutely.
find you?
If you Google Somebody's Coffee, we pop up. On Facebook,
Okay.
it's Somebody's Coffee. Instagram, Somebody's Coffee. Don't use the apostrophe, but you will find us. And also, if you want to send us an email to contact us, it's just simply SCSTPEPE St. Pete at Google.
So
um,
the initials of
yeah.
somebody's coffee, SC St. Pete
Yes.
at gmail.com.
Gmail.com. And
Okay.
you can DM me on any of the Instagram, on Facebook. We are at 1753 Prescott Street in
Prescott,
South St. Pete.
Prescott South. Okay. And Facebook does have the apostrophe, but Instagram does not.
No, it's not. Yeah.
Okay. So Instagram has the apostrophe and no apostrophe here. Okay.
Yeah.
Great. So all that information for our listeners is going to be down in the description of the podcast below. My links, my email, if you want to set up an interview with me as well, and also to get in touch with Adrienne. And if you're a woman over 50 and you have a story to share and a passion to ignite or wisdom to impart, I would love for you to join me here on my podcast as a guest. And like I said, my email will be listed below. And so until next time, keep doing different. Bye bye.